indivisible.
You don't want to follow that.
Meeting will please come to order. We do have proof of posting in accordance with Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code as amended, known as the Texas Open Meetings Act. Any members of the public who wish to speak will each have 3 minutes.
Good morning, Your Honor, Commissioners. I appreciate the opportunity to come before you today. Recently, a piece of property in Cottonton was purchased by a company that hosts large-scale drag racing types of events. In the last 30 days, they've hosted 2 of these events. Attendance has been in the hundreds, approaching 1,000 people both times. The infrastructure in Cottonton just can't support that kind of event. And on top of that, as a result of the 2 events, the citizens of Cottonton have concerns that center around 3 principal areas: public safety, public health, and public peace. Safety and health because a small community being invaded by hundreds of people that travel from all over the country to come to this event. They're not local. They're conducting drag races, and they're not confining themselves to the property. They're using the streets of Cottonton and County Road 930 for these events. They're throwing their trash and litter everywhere. Public health because even though there's approaching 1,000 people out there, this is cow pasture. There's no public restrooms, and nor does Cottonton have any businesses that offer public restrooms. And they're out there for a whole day. Public peace of mind because there's loud music, there's gunfire that goes on. This goes on all day long. It does not confine itself to the event center. And the remedy that we seek is that we would like to see Freestone County adopt some types of ordinances that regulate large-scale gatherings that specifically address those concerns: public safety, public health, littering, and just the peace of the community. On a personal level, I'll tell you, I've spent 10 years and over 7 figures restoring my family's homestead there in Cottonton. I made that kind of investment here because I love the people of Freestone County, the culture, and the rich history that we have in our area. And now next door, I have an eyesore, a nuisance, a gateway to illegal activity, and I would really like to see some type of regulations in place that kind of limit or restrict the type of activity that's able to take place out there. Thank you.
There is, I talked to the sheriff about that, and he is looking at some areas that can help. They have to do a mass gathering permit, and so you might want to talk to the sheriff about what avenues that he is looking into and some things that he is putting into place to address that. Yes.
And in the time I have remaining, I would like to express my appreciation to Commissioner Ridge and to the officers of the Sheriff's Department for doing their best to maintain peace and protecting the community during these events. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, no, we can't actually answer questions other than if it's a fact. And that is a fact, so you're right, we can't just comment. That is a fact that there is a mass gathering statute, and we do have that labelable, and the sheriff will talk to him about that.
Understand that mass gathering is a state law, and that the county
can adopt whatever mass gathering they want to. They can amend, they can do it for the county. I think an adjacent county has done that, Madera County. I mean, and maybe Brian could talk to the assistant attorney up there. I think she has some dealings with drawing it up.
I do so I know a little bit about this, right? Just kind of talking in passing, and I do know Navarro County has dealt with this issue, maybe with the same group.
Same group.
So what I hear, I don't know that for sure. I would ask this. I can do that, and then would you like me to be tasked with looking at ordinances and looking at and seeing what we can put in place at this point in time?
Yes. Karen, would you give him a copy of that? And then, we can't really have this discussion.
I know that, Judge.
She's gonna print that out and give it to you. I know you can look it up too.
Yes, ma'am. And maybe we can put it on y'all's call, right? But if we need to put it on the agenda and discuss further, then
Yes.
that'd be great.
Yes. Thank you.
Mhm.
All right, we'll go to item number 1 to approve the minutes of the June 5th meeting.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of the June 5th meeting.
I say.
All in favor, aye. Item number 2 is budget transfers and amendments. We have one sheet.
I make a motion to approve the budget transfer amendments. Second.
All in favor, aye. Any opposed? None, motion carries. Item number 3 is to approve the pay bills.
that, was that somebody that's been here a long time?
Extra that.
Yeah, I saw $1,000 extradition.
They had to pay it to go out, and then Michael Dunn, I guess they came back and he gave them back their $1,000, or they went out through their parole, and so they have to pay this amount of money, and so we have the deposits that they paid it.
We'll get that back.
We're just, yes, they get it back.
That's great. That's great. Because when we go to court and they're out of state, we have them pay, if they go on probation, an extradition fee. I've never actually seen it. I mean, luckily, I would say a lot of those people we let go out of state, they successfully complete it, so we don't have to go back and arrest them, right? But that's great. That's why we make them pay the extradition fee, so we can come back around and take it.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's just good
Yeah.
news for me to see
Yeah,
it
yeah,
on the
see
back
it
end.
happen.
Yeah.
And that is for one's on probation, so.
Correct,
and
yeah.
Anytime they transfer their probation out of Freestone County and go to a different place than out of state, we make them do that.
Yeah, we're making them prepay that if they mess up and we have to go arrest them, that you're paying for your own travel back to us.
We keep a record of that, and I think Karen does too. so.
Reconcile it quarterly.
Mhm.
Brian, in your office, who is Sabrina Scott? On the seized funds?
Sabrina Scott. Okay, so what that, I apologize. So if you want me to get the details of that seizure, so we arrested 2 people, forget if it's Wortham PD, and we seized money from those 2 individuals. And so that is she provided, very nice lady, provided pretty good proof of the source of those funds. That was not contraband. So we cut that check of those seized funds back to her. And then I think on the other defendant, I think we deposited and we actually seized that money from the other defendant.
I see where, like, the Wortham in the county attorney's office got, what they got to keep. I was just wondering why it was an individual name.
No, I knew the name sounded familiar, but that's what it was, is sending her the money back.
Gotcha.
Senior services have their own fund.
Department, they have their own
I
department.
saw something here where they spent a bunch of money and it said general fund.
It's a
There it is in the general fund,
They get money out of the general fund,
they do.
so we don't give them that in the.
So they did have grants, and they still do, they just cut the grants way back, and so more comes out of the general fund now. We do budget for them every year.
we have all of those that we combine through the year, those checking reports. They're available.
Make a motion to approve the payroll.
Yeah.
I mean, payroll, I'm sorry.
June, two sets, June 12th and June 20th.
Three of them.
And three, there's another transfer on this.
I say.
All in favor, aye. Any opposed? None, motion carries. Now, item number 4 is to approve the payroll. Yes.
I'll make a motion we approve the payroll.
Second.
All in favor, aye. Any opposed? None, motion carries. Item number 5, reports. I have a report from the auditor for the month of May, and also the report from the treasurer based on that May reconciliation. And if anyone has questions, you can review that online. We have the May tax office report, district clerk for May, JP3 for May, JP2 for May. Senior services for May. Do we have any other reports? If not, we have a motion to accept the reports.
I'll make a motion to accept the report.
Second.
All in favor, aye. Motion carried. Item number 6, burn ban. No action. Item number 7, special road use agreement.
I do have,
Bring that thing here.
No, I've got it right here.
oh, okay, that's the,
I've got
that's
the
the other-
issues with my printer and then it finally decided it got to work, so this is everything that they sent. Here's that.
So 0C0Solar, Oakwood area, between Highway 84 and Highway 79, they're gonna be accessing the leased property that they have off of 84 on the County Road 300. And on that particular road, they'll be doing a couple of bores. They will not be on county property while boring. They'll be on private property. As well as they're wanting to put an entrance in where part of their main station will be. Once you go down County Road 300, turn left on 321, same thing. Same road bores, not on county property, and putting in a big entrance. So what we have, they were wanting us to sign, they have filled out, submitted the road use agreement that we currently have on file at this time, currently using. They've also met the requirements of the road use agreement that was in the original application for the right, it's not a pilot program, but in that agreement, which was done for us by our representatives. So,
Yeah, the road use was tied to that.
yes, they just went ahead and did both.
Okay, then that's what I was wondering, then what we,
Kind of went over and above. requirements for the bond and everything, they're willing to meet everything, so they have went, you should say, over above on that. So if I could make a motion, to accept this, special agreement for pipeline crossings on county roads, for varsity solar,
303.
300 and 321, two county roads effective.
You made that motion?
Yes.
I second.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None. Motion carried. Sign these, all the others right here. These are the locations if you want. These maps are, they done pretty good with their pictures. They're pretty easy to tell exactly where it's going to be. And so this one is gonna cover both of those.
Yes, well, they signed off to honor the road use agreement that's in the tax abatement agreement early on, so that was already signed, they've signed it and we signed it.
And was that on both roads or
Well, that's on any road in the county.
any road?
So this
Any
just
road they use.
gets to the specific roads.
Okay, usually we put on these the numbers, so we can locate them later when we find them. You want to put both of those road numbers on?
Yes,
here?
ma'am. 300 and
321. There you go.
Which finally getting started. I mean, you know, all these.
Yeah.
have been
At least
talking.
moving ahead.
And that's the only ones I've seen
Yeah.
really doing anything.
This one right out here, we're working on it every day. This is, they didn't use county road, city limits.
Right.
Where's it, oh, the battery deal?
No, it's a solar farm right out here, turning Mustang, and Diesel Repair.
Yeah.
Go down there before we get to that 90-degree turn, hang your left, go in there.
I don't remember, have they been up
They
here?
didn't approach us for anything.
Huh?
It's a private deal, they
I
didn't.
didn't know they battery.
Where's they?
Item number 8 is to approve bonds and education certificates. Do we have any? If not, no action.
Judge, back on number 7. Karen, this one, we want to talk about the Windstream. Did you have any notes on an amendment to
probably
the Windstream contract that we,
The reports, yeah, I do. Jane had given them to me, the contracts, well, it's actually an amendment from the last one that we, that y'all signed and approved in court. And it looked like that this amendment was gonna go down, and he looked at the line items, and 2 of them were actually changing and going up, so it was gonna actually be almost $300 a month. So this amendment needs to be signed, and I don't know if we need to put that on another agenda, but this is, they need this signed before they can go forward with the phones, over the new phones and all.
so we were originally told to start with,
It's gonna go
Then
down,
it was
so
gonna
we're
go-
just gonna approve it under the contracts.
right, that it was gonna go down. And then I found out, I guess Monday evening, after he finally got the rest of the, basically, they didn't have it broken down into a line item. So even though that the phones that they originally quoted weren't correct, and that went down, but then there was an additional service on there that wasn't in the original contract. So it
So
did-
like the office suite went from 1,900 to 2,313, And then the kinetic enhanced something and land and Wi-Fi went from, it actually went down 632.11 to 440. So that actually went down, but it made the difference of $300 something.
So what is, are you showing the totals being out?
Well, it's gonna be that plus the 489, let's see. So it's actually gonna be $3243.52. And our contract that we signed was for $3,032.11.
Right.
So it's
what?
actually just going up
So
$200 and something dollars.
$211.
Since we had previously approved the contract, and it does say special road use agreements, contracts, permits, and bonds, are you comfortable with us just doing this amendment under contract only? Since we've already approved
We've
the
already
actual
approved it,
contract.
right?
And this,
That'd be fine.
from a timing standpoint, so that Dan's got the phones, everything's working down there when he makes his move, this is, it plays a role in making sure that he's got everything working when he does move. I'd like to make a motion to approve amending the Windstream Kinetic contract.
You need a second?
I do.
Second.
All in favor, aye. Any opposed? Item number 9, accept 2 check donations from the Community National Bank and Trust of Texas, the Fairfield branch, to senior services for $500 each, total of $1,000.
I'll make it to accept.
Second.
All in favor, aye. Any opposed? None. Motion carried. We certainly do appreciate that. Expenses have really gone up in that department because of everything else that's gone up so much. Item number 10 is to select the salary grievance committee.
First, we're gonna do it, I think we need to make a motion first to put our people on there to do the elected officials that are on there.
Yeah.
So we might not have to rustle any, right? Because we'll get how many of them?
Yes, that, we have the option of using, public officials, which is in the statute, and that's what we've done, is to use the elected officials, and then we only have to draw for 3 spots. We have trouble getting 3 spots filled.
So do we need a motion to use the elected officials? I'll make that motion.
That's part of us selecting the,
Can I?
committee. Yes, sir.
I just gonna, we don't need a head of that. Do we run that, do that, when we conduct that, like somebody head it up?
Would you like to volunteer as the?
Oh, man.
As a
No, man.
pro tem?
But I have somebody that I will.
Sounds like he has knowledge.
As a pro tem, you know, if I'm not here, then we have a pro tem, and since he is the
But
senior in
the
most
judge,
ways.
you're not on that deal, are you?
I'm just like the moderator.
So-
But you can be the moderator.
No one.
He's got that look on his face, he's fixing to pop off.
Some.
See that look?
I think he wants to nominate me to any type of extra responsibility dealing with that. I think he wants it to fall on me. I think is what he's. I think that's where he's going with it.
All right, well.
Anyway,
I
my
hate to
motion
say
is
it,
to
but if
use
I'm
the
not,
elect.
if I'm not there, then it would fall to you.
My motion is to do with
How
the
about that,
elected
Brian?
officials, to be on that committee.
Yes. Is that a motion?
Yes, ma'am.
Second.
All in favor, aye? Any opposed? None. Motion carried. And since we have settled that, we know we only need 3 spots, but we usually draw a lot more because we do have problems getting people to serve.
And these names came from,
Grand jury.
Grand jury,
okay, grand jury now.
yes.
Everybody get one?
And who is your person?
Ashley Perez, P-E-R-E-Z.
Okay, we'll use these in order.
I got Gerald Eddings, E-D-D-I-N-G-S. I don't know if you come in the woods. Who is it? Eddings. Gerald.
I got Lance Kilkenny. K-I-L-K-E-N.
Thank you.
No. We'll save those.
Molly Olive.
We're doing 8 to try to get 3, or we're just doing 4?
You better. They better. So we don't have to do it again.
Start over, we'll do 4 more. Start not over, just continue.
Robert Shaw.
And I got Erica Thibodeau.
Stephen Plunger.
Yes,
So that's Stephen instead of Steve.
Stephen.
Cynthia Duncan, D-U-N-C-A-N.
Hopefully we can get 3 out of 8. We have gone, and we will send out a letter to each of them to see if they will agree to be on that.
Stick with this.
Well, keep them separate if you want to, because we may have to draw more.
Okay.
All right. Now, number 11, to appoint the sick leave pool. Dan Ralston has been the elected official on that committee. Have y'all had to do it at all?
One time.
One time.
One time, I think that was, never last year.
You are. Hannah? And then Renee, do you want to continue? Yes, ma'am. Will?
That's fine. I'll do my
Jean.
bar.
All right. We have a motion to appoint
I make a motion to appoint sick leave for Dan Ralston, Hannah Hale, Renee Reynolds, Bill McSwain, and Kenny Key.
Second.
all in favor, aye. Motion carried. Streetland Volunteer Fire Department, 2003 Ford F-450. Request to change the title to the fire department so they can sell it. Is that correct?
That is correct. We did purchase it on a loan back in 2003 for the volunteer fire department. I think it was for $28,000. The title is in Freestone County, and so they're just wanting the funds, you know,
And
to
that's
sell
the
it.
that's the truck that they took all the parts off of and put on the truck that they got through the donations and stuff. And they just want to be able to sell that truck, you know, get the title and sell it. And I talked to a guy about it, and he said it would take a lot of money more than it's worth to fix it. So they just want to try to get rid of it. We've done that for other folks before, so I make a motion that we give Streetman Volunteer Fire Department the title to a 2003 Ford F-450 so that they can dispose of it, sell it, whatever.
I second.
All in favor, aye. Any opposed? None, motion carried. Item number 13 is the ARPA allocations.
Judge Grant, we just need, so the price changed on the 4 Tahoes for the sheriff's department. And so I had to get a new HGAC contract worksheet, and the price went up $40,020. So right now, we're sitting at $188,594.36. It's not allocated. If we take the $40,020 out, and that leaves us with $148,574.36.
Now, is that?
How did something go up that we're supposed to have a contract on?
Well, the contracts on the HGAC, those go up. You know, they have to bid those and all of that, so that's.
So that's not really a contract?
It's not, no, it's not, because the contracts, they're bid out like every 3 years or every year or whatever, and the price went up.
It's 4 cars?
I understand what everybody's asking about though is if we have a contract to buy them
It's
at that
been going on
price.
over a year.
Yeah.
Right.
They're all.
But again, so if we were having to do it under the CFR 200 regulations because we're using the ARPA funds. So whatever the contract, whatever the HGAC price is what we have to, even though, you know, you say, well, Caldwell Country, they need to give it to us at that price. We're under the guidelines of the 2 CFR 200.
But is that the one, how many do we have under there, under that? How many, we already have about 3 or 4 that should
That's
already been
4.
bought.
That's
I mean, they're on the waiting list to be getting.
Right, they haven't been upfitted, so they're at the upfitter now. And this is for the turnkey, these 4. The 2 that are there now, we have a contract with the upfitter, and we have a contract with Country Caldwell.
So did we originally just get a contract for the vehicles themselves?
For these 4,
Uh-huh.
no, it was like 313,000. That was the first one, and so the price, I guess, went up, and so we just, you know, trying to stay within the 2 CFR 200 guidelines for the ARPA.
So we really got a choice.
Can you refresh us on, so we received 2 new Tahoes not long ago.
And they're at the upfitters.
They're at the upfitters.
We ain't got them
No.
yet. Are these the ones we bought in 23?
Yeah, they're at the upfitters
And then
too.
we're paying 24?
And that was that transfer that y'all just approved for us to purchase those. And they're for the Tahoes only, and then we'll have to pay for the upfit too.
But that was for this year's
Yes,
in the budget transfers.
yes, the 2, yes.
That was
All the-
SB 22.
SB 22,
trades.
yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
But in the last 3 years, have we only received 2 and we have 6 more, not counting the 2 from today?
Yes, I mean,
that right?
I'd have to go back and
No,
look
we
and
got
see when the
4.
last time we received 2, but it's been a
Not counting
while.
those
We
2.
have not
No, we got
received
6.
any.
Not counting, no, we got, no, the 2 that are there end with 6. Isn't that right?
We ordered 2 originally. And those are the ones that are at the upfitters. I guess it's more like, since we didn't buy them, we haven't paid for them. So they're saying we requested them when they came in, but they're increasing the price on the
Yes.
4 that we still have out,
Yes,
$10,000 a piece.
10,000 apiece.
Yes.
Yeah.
License was legal.
And I really couldn't tell you if it's in the price of the vehicle or the upfit. Probably the upfit.
It's just a movement, I mean.
Well, I think they should be
But you think that we are purchasing from them at a certain price, but it's not a contract like that. You're just basically saying, we want four when you can get four. Whatever the cost is at that time is what
And
we're
how
going to
long
pay.
it takes to get it, that's the other.
Yeah.
That's the other
Yeah.
thing. That drives me crazy.
Nobody's fussing at you, we're just.
Because the
Yeah.
four cars, were they not ordered in 22?
22,
Yes.
because after I got the guys,
Because we did 2 and 21,
We got those.
And we got
4 and
those.
22, and then we did 2 more in 23, is that right?
That's right, and we
We got,
don't
that's-
have it,
The 2 on the SB 22.
yes.
So we've really got 8, after today, there's 8 coming. We've received 2 out of 10.
We'll receive 2, and then we've got 6 more coming. We ordered 2 in 21, 2 in 23, and then we ordered those 4 in 22.
And then
So
2
that's
more
eight.
today.
Yes,
That's
yes, and
amazing.
they got and I think but I said, I told them I needed the paperwork, I don't have it yet, but all the ones
I
that
thought
they
the whole
ordered.
reason for going ahead and ordering them was because it takes so long to get them,
Right.
so that, you know,
Otherwise, we won't be in line if we
yeah.
order
I
them.
mean, the car's gonna
This
be
year,
2
it'll be
years old
2
when we
years.
receive them. You're paying for 22 models. It'd be different if they was gonna give us a 24 and 24. But if
Right.
you ordered 4 and 22, and you finally get them, they're still gonna be 22s. They're gonna be 3 years old when you get them, and they're gonna cost 10,000 a piece more.
and you ain't got it.
We'll look at the year model for sure when they come in.
If they violate some kind of statute.
Be a good business to be in.
Can we find them somewhere else?
They have the contract on the buy board.
There's
Oh,
no
wow,
people in the
thanks.
world that have the contract on the Bible?
Yes, for those those type of vehicles, yeah.
I wonder what it would cost us just to buy a local, a stripped down version, and then send it to an upfitter.
I don't know.
Well, she
It's
says.
something we
upgrade.
need. Once this art money-
What do they have special in
Yes, when the art money's not being used,
Then
we
we need-
surely can do that.
That's where the guy
That's
There's
what we
special
used to do.
Tahoes with,
Yeah, I think so. They got some different stuff.
are they
Just have to go-
Yeah,
We just have to go out for bids for all of it.
Yeah.
got a better high
They're the-
performance motor or?
Yeah, it's the Pursuit package, and they
Okay.
generally have the Pursuit tires and the better. air
Alternator and all
brakes.
that.
Yeah, the brake system's
So you
heavier
sit there
duty
and
seat
out,
and
okay.
stuff. Yeah, it's a little bit extra.
Okay,
Couldn't say.
I know ours were about 55,000 when we bought them.
yeah.
That was just the vehicle.
Oh, that was upfitted, but we bought them basically pre-kitted out. But,
How long take to get it?
What's that? Well, it took over a year to get it.
Oh,
Yeah.
All right, so ARPA allocations, the price has gone up, and we need to approve that price,
Yes,
that increase,
that increase.
the increase. And that is
Is that a set amount?
$40,020, yes.
Is it gonna change again?
She's got, nobody can
We've
tell you.
been waiting on these cars for 2 years.
It ain't really a contract.
We should have them,
I'm sorry.
they're saying before October. So
When the number
hopefully,
changes, it's
you
not a
know, it's
contract.
all, it'll be fine.
It's a open-ended,
Well,
We-
once we already
we
signed
signed
it,
it
a couple years ago, should
Yeah,
already
let's
been
put
here too.
something in
shouldn't
there about the
Yeah, yeah,
increases.
yeah.
All right, now what all do we
it?
need to have?
22. That's what I'm saying, they should already been here, nearly just 24 now, they got here.
What do we need in the motion?
Just to approve the $40,020 of ARPA funds allocated towards the price of the 4 Tahoes.
I'll make it motion.
I say,
All in favor, aye. Opposed?
what do you do?
Motion carried.
40 minutes.
Item number 14 is to discuss the possibility of payroll for all employees to be direct deposit.
So why this came up is, you know, we've had some issues lately with checks, and, so one of the bank's recommendations is that, we try to limit the amount of checks that we send out. So, just wanted to bring it before Commissioners Court. I believe at this time we have about, 10 to 12 employees that are not doing direct deposit. So, part of our depository contract with Citizens is they have to provide a bank account to any county employee that wants that checking account.
Free.
And so they do have to do that free of charge. Or there's some other banks in town that I do know that offer free checking accounts, if that's an issue. But it's totally up to Commissioners Court. At this time, we don't currently say you have to do direct deposit, but if y'all are willing to do that, that is something Commissioners Court can do.
We have had some issues, and we've been talking to the bank and trying to help.
But they hadn't been payroll checks.
Well, what came in as a
For the
payroll check.
extension, the,
Mhm.
that we paid them, that's right.
What would keep them from doing just a regular payroll check, just direct deposit?
Well, because it's not
And-
check form, they're not gonna intercept
Hadn't some of
that.
those been, hadn't some of those been gone through the ones that's been copied, hadn't they went through the bank? And they were payroll checks?
Not copied, no.
Well, whatever happened, since, or duplicated, whatever. Weren't those payroll checks?
It had to
So there
be-
was only 2 that were intercepted, and no, they were not. I mean, now, the original check that was issued was a payroll check, but it wasn't intercepted, no.
It was intercepted, or it was,
Was not intercepted, no.
so if we go this way, it still may not be intercepted.
So, when you go direct deposit, there's no checks issued. So there's no way to intercept what's not issued. So basically the funds go straight from our account into that employee's bank account, and there's no paper check to intercept.
Let's work more work on y'all.
Actually, it would be the same amount of work, because when we print checks, the ones that are checks is printed, the ones that are deposits, it still prints a stub, if you will, you know. So for either way, it's really not more work on us. What it would cut down on is like when election workers and we mail out checks, it would cut down on postage. And for the few people that don't pick their check up that we mail, it would cut down on the postage on that. But other than that, no extra work. The benefit to the employee would be when it direct deposits, it actually hits your account almost a full day earlier than when you have the paper check, because on the paper check, we won't release those until actual payday. So,
Something else we need to think, because this is gonna tie back into, the county's policy on, cybersecurity and how well we're protected, and I know this is something that's gonna be brought up, in the short term. But the way I understand it, the vulnerability of this direct deposit is no different than wiring money. The way it was explained to me is when we send something, and Andy, I know you understand the cloud, but when that data, we have a firewall, okay?
It's gonna come up
within
every
the
meeting,
county.
isn't it?
We do.
Okay, but once that information leaves our firewall, the level of encryption is what dictates if somebody can grab that information between it leaving our firewall and getting to wherever it's going. So something to think about, and I say it's gonna come up on how secure we want the county to be. We have firewalls in place right now. But we don't have that level of encryption that keeps this from happening. So I'm just letting y'all, I know you'll want to do a lot of research on that between now and then, Andy.
at this point, just to make sure everybody's on the understanding, this was no cyber anything. This was basically a situation where a paper check.
A hard copy check.
So that's what we're talking about here, is just the bank's suggestion of trying to eliminate. The other thing, I haven't got to talk to Renee McVeigh about it yet, but I plan on talking to her this week. I want to get all of our election workers. In the past, we've never done the election workers on direct deposit because of the fact that they only work, you know, if we have an election that year, but with the uptick of all the elections that we're having, with her doing all the city elections and all that now and having to use them more, we are using them more. And so I want to talk to them about incorporating that into their onboarding process, because we do onboard election workers totally different than any other employee. And so I want to put that into the onboarding process of getting them set up on direct deposit.
What about part-time employees? Are
They-
they're all direct, or they?
Not all of them, but they have the same choice that anybody else right now has. If a part-time employee wants direct, they can. If they don't, same choice that full-time has.
I mean, all my employees get direct deposit, my full-time employees get direct deposit.
I just think.
Is there any-
something.
I guess in those 12 people, are they full-time employees?
Some people are old school.
Some are, some are not. I'd have to go through and, I believe your part-time person, I don't believe at this point is, whether he.
No, I know mine's not, but I'm talking about, are there any full-time employees that receive their check?
Yes,
Get their
sir.
check?
Yes, sir.
There's 12 of them.
Well, not all of them are full-time, so there's a couple in
Yes,
that.
what I'm trying to find out is how many full-time ones get a check?
I'd have to go count that to give you.
So that probably would cut that number way down.
It would.
If you just wanted to do just full-time, is that what you're saying?
Do you think we'll ever get to where we're not writing any checks at all, though? I mean,
Are we looking payroll?
about, period.
It's something that we should look at and we could consider. I do have some reservations about it, just because the business is changing accounts. They, you know, this one buys or they move their banks and all that, and they don't think about it. And then here you are, we're sending money to, and so if we're not, and a lot of, and not all vendors want to give you that information. Some do. Like when we, you know, purchase big equipment, they'd rather it be done, you know, through wire or ACH or whatever. And I think that's great. Just the, you know, vendors that we use every once in a while.
That's what I mean, that's,
Yeah,
that's the part that I just see the check is the best route. You know?
Right. But it's something that, you know, if they're asking for it and they're a customer all the time, you know, they're a regular customer and they want it, I don't have a problem with, and then, you know, maybe following up once a year just to update and make sure that everything's still, of course, we'll know right away if they change.
It still creates a lot more work in the county, in y'all's two offices.
I mean, it would from the start. I mean, it would be, it's real vital information. So just for me, hiring somebody for a part-time position to handle that kind of sensitive information, I had rather either one do it or somebody that I have confidence in, because we're gonna be sending it out. I wanna make sure that all the numbers are right and that we have double and triple checked it. And
Our local people that we trade with, Karen, it'll work for them. Parker, Cap, Gary, wherever, Eddie, man,
It's kind of like whenever you call, whenever you set it up for it to be directly taken out of your,
yeah, personal account.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying,
and those people that
those
you know, we
people
do
won't
business
mind giving
with,
you their information.
right.
Okay.
And they would be getting that payment on the date that, if that went to that, they would be getting it quick, but. As far as on the payroll side, I just wanna say, I would recommend if y'all even consider this, that you look at maybe not starting it immediately, maybe give a date so these people have time to establish, maybe a new budget year, October 1. We're gonna, if you decide to go that route, but that's just my thoughts, if you wanna think about it.
What if they don't have a bank account?
again, they can, if they don't, they do have some options of being able to get a bank account free through our depository contract, or there's a couple other banks in
Yeah, but
town.
what if they don't want one? I mean, that's.
Yeah, I mean, that's
You're
just-
taking that choice away from them, forcing, I don't know.
There is a lot of businesses that have went to their payroll only being direct deposited. A lot of companies that you work for do require that, but again, the county doesn't at this point. It's just something you all have to think about.
Think about it till October.
Yeah, why don't we just table it until, table it, see if we get anything.
How about if you give us a list of the people that don't have,
Okay.
and then maybe we can visit with
Right.
them,
Right.
but.
Okay.
We have a motion to table.
Just a minute.
I'll say.
Second.
All in favor, aye. Motion carries. Let's take about a 5-minute break. We're gonna come back and talk about road use agreements.